surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no. Stuffing things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
Walker was there. A lot of continuity there. Jackson making a bid, this time towards right center field. He struck it well, and it will go. Jeremiah Jackson got it up and got it out. His first home run of spring training.
It's courtesy of Masson yesterday, and everybody talking about how it looks more and more like Jeremiah Jackson, probably safely on the Orioles roster at this point. I think given Jordan Westberg's and Jackson Holliday's injuries, that kind of always seemed to be the case to me, at least for now. But on top of that, it has been a strong spring for Jeremiah Jackson, so I think that's a fairly safe bet that he will be on the Orioles opening day roster. And I guess we're only a few days away from knowing who all else gets the final spots on the roster. I got to be honest with you, I haven't paid a ton of attention to what the actual spots might still be at stake. So, I know there was a lot of talk early on about the idea of a third catcher and Sam Huff.
I was going to say Sam Huff.
Yeah, perhaps being that guy. I get the sense that, that's probably not going to be the case. It feels more and more like they're just going to go with the two catchers and run that risk. I don't know if they've identified someone else on the roster that they believe is an emergency catcher, like someone that, hey, if our guy gets hurt in the 8th inning, we can turn to you. Obviously, you have the option if your other catcher is DHing that you can pull your DH, but then you lose your DH, which is not ideal. How many times, particularly given that there's the extra inning rule and you're not going to have likely 16, 17-inning games, I get that the argument would be that you're probably not going to have a lot of scenarios where even if this plays out, right, even if, let's say Adley Rutschman's catching, Sam Basayo is the DH, Rutschman gets hurt in the 4th inning, you got to go to Basayo. The likelihood that you're going to run out of potential pinch hitters is slim. I mean, it's just unlikely because you're not going to have that spot come up 5 more times, almost certainly. So I get why they don't want to kind of give away a spot to a catcher, but we'll see how that plays out. And there are some other questions, right? Obviously, a couple of bullpen spots. How do they value, say, Jeremiah Jackson's bat versus, the defensive versatility of a Tyro Estrada or a Luis Vazquez? So we'll see, what that decision ends up looking like. But just looking more and more like we're getting some. I think Jeremiah Jackson is closing in on a spot. He's going to be on the roster, and then you kind of go from there. Orioles have a few more this weekend, 3 more in Sarasota, and then Sunday they'll be playing in Baltimore against the Nationals. Then they'll play in D.C. against the Nationals on Monday, and then we play baseball for real. But in the meantime, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Dong, ding, dong. There'll be much mistletoe. Anyway. I think you guys know how much I love the start of the NCAA tournament. It makes me very happy. It reminds me of some of my favorite Brodog days from when I was a young man. I tell the story constantly of the time myself and my buddies BJ and Chris, we concocted this idea, and I think we're all back from, or not all of us. I think I was back from school for spring break. They might have still been in high school at that point, but a bunch of us, between being back from school for spring break or being in high school, maybe we were all in high school, we just all skipped school that day. I don't remember how the plan all came together. We were all of a certain age that we definitely were supposed to be doing something else, but we all concocted the idea that instead of going to school or doing whatever we were supposed to be doing on this particular day, we would have a tailgate party the morning of the start of the NCAA tournament. Now, we had for years all gotten together at our buddy BJ and Chris. They were brothers, BJ and Chris Appel, for those that know them. We had always gotten together at their house the day the NCAA tournament started. And we got like a giant nugget tray from Chick-fil-A, and we just had we hung all of our brackets up around their basement. And our buddy BJ was responsible. He had like a permanent marker and a highlighter on him. So as soon as the games would end, and this is back when you couldn't watch all of them, you could only watch whatever CBS had on. As soon as the games would end, he would go take the Sharpie, scratch out who you lost or highlight who you won, and we'd be following it, and it was awesome. And it was the best. But we decided this year we were going to turn it into hyperdrive, and we just showed up at Ripken Stadium in Aberdeen. Just showed up in their parking lot with like 50 of us. On the morning that the NCAA tournament started, we brought grills, we grilled, we played wiffle ball in the parking lot, we brought footballs and threw footballs. We drank. We just had the time of our lives.
That sounds so much fun.
Dude, it was the greatest day ever.
It's called living.
I think we all woke up at like 6 a.m. in order to like prepare everything to make sure we had all the food we needed and all that. And I think we tailgated from like 8 a.m. till noon. Now, I do remember we all passed out hard that afternoon in the middle of the games. But it was the greatest day that ever existed because it was just a celebration of this thing that we all enjoyed so bad. Now, it also added on that back then, Maryland was also good at basketball. And so, you know.
Oh.
There was that. We don't really have that anymore, which is a shame. But
one shining moment.
There you go. Grant's finally coming around on it. So this is my week. I love this week. I love this day. I am particularly bothered by the fact that like work gets in the way of me being able to enjoy these days the way that I want to, which is just doing nothing but watching basketball. And like tonight I have to go to bed at a certain hour because I've got to be on 98 Rock and WBAL tomorrow morning very early. I'm very annoyed by all of those things. I feel like everyone should just leave me alone and let me have this week. But no, I have to work 3 jobs on Saturday. This is really Sunday. So I get Sunday. Sunday I've got nothing as of right now. I thought about going to the Orioles game, going to see the new press box and making sure I understand it. No.
You don't want to go with me?
You're going on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm going.
I'm going to go check out the new oh no, it's not, the new bar is not open yet in the
July.
flag. The flag court bar is going to open later this season.
I'd be the first one in line if it was ready.
I know you're excited. You will get to see the new scoreboard, obviously.
Yeah, and I'll get to hear it too.
And the new sound system, exactly.
But you don't want to
right.
go? I'll be there.
I would go, but this is the only day I get all week to just sit around and watch basketball in my underpants. If my kids think that I am helping them practice for the start of baseball season, no, I will not be. I will be watching basketball in my underpants. I might throw some wings on the smoker that morning. That's possible. But the rest of the day, watching basketball in my underpants. Of course, now this means someone's going to want me to work on Sunday, and I'm going to be
just exposed yourself.
I'm going to be screwed. I'm going to be screwed. Coming up today, Jim Ferry, UMBC basketball. Why did I say it out loud? I just know how this is going to go. I know it. My wife's going to inform me that we've had plans for months that she just didn't put on the calendar. Curses! Give me a day. You know what? I might just do it right here in studio. Grant, you got to leave at noon today so I can sit right here in the studio in my underpants and watch basketball for at least a couple of hours.
Yeah, I don't want to be here for that.
God. I feel like a man has earned that much, the right to watch basketball. Dude, it used to be that even when I had to work on these days, I would inform my wife I was stopping, getting wings on the way home, and that's all I was doing at night on Thursday and Friday night. I don't think Siena's beating Duke in the first round, but could you imagine if they did? The joy that we would have as a nation. Have you seen a picture of Siena's mascot, by the way? Go look at it right now. My God. I don't know what the Siena chants are, but Siena, Siena, Siena. I want to make out with Siena. I want to make out with Sienna Miller. Well, that probably won't happen, but Siena anyway. God. What are we doing? We're hi. Game's at 2:50 today. I'm supposed to be doing Rita and Glenn coming up at 4 o'clock today. If Siena's beating Duke in the second half, we ain't doing Rita and Glenn. I'm removing my pants and I'm screaming. Go look up some Siena chants. Look up what it is that Siena fans do. Do they have like a song? I want a song for Siena. Or make one up, Grant. Make up a damn Siena song.
What, I got 6 hours to do that?
Yeah, not even. You've got 3 hours and 40 minutes.
I'd rather make a movie called Glenn Clark's Day Off.
No. You're not taking this seriously enough, Grant. There are few things that bring us together as a people.
And it's Duke losing.
There's nothing. Last night when I was on WBA, I was reminded that hating Ticketmaster is one of the few things that brings people together. We don't agree about politics. We don't agree about anything. We hate Ticketmaster and we hate Duke. There's so few things that we have. Nothing. I was reminded that it was on this day like a decade ago that South Carolina beat Duke, and I tweeted out, I love the Cox. And you know what? I did. Stand by it. God bless them. We have so little that can bring us together and have a shared experience for all people. But hating Duke is one of those things. And we have the opportunity to do that collectively today. And look, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think there's a chance it's going to happen. But if somehow it does, I will parade around. I will walk through this corridor singing When the Saints Go Marching In. Oh, when the Saints... I'll put my pants on because there's a childcare. There's a childcare place nearby, so I'll put my pants on for that.
Please.
But only because of that. If there was no childcare place in this establishment, I would not. But I swear to you, if somehow Siena beats Duke, I will parade around this corridor singing When the Saints Go Marching In. Or what was that Green Day U2 song that they did to open the Superdome when the Superdome came? The Saints Are Coming. I'll sing them both. And whatever other Siena song we come up with between now and then. I am excited. I am also excited because, and I need to thank you, you all have kindly done the thing that I asked you to do. And you have filled our bracket contest. And I was nervous, and I sweated it out, and I debased myself, begging you all to do it over the course of the last few days, but you did. And for that, I can only say thank you. In double checking, I believe we're going to end up having a $550 pot and $560 that will be going to Show Your Soft Side. As one person just threw in an extra $10 and said, could you give it to Show Your Soft Side? I said, you got it. But I want to double check those numbers. There's a couple people who paid but didn't get their brackets in, so I'm sort of working to make sure that they do before the games start. And if they don't, I assume that they will be quite all right with me donating the money anyway, but it would just sort of shift the difference between the pot and the donation. So I just got to work on that. But I am confident. We have at least 50 people that have filled out their brackets and paid their money. So I know the pot will be at least $500, and I know the donation will be more than $500, and I am eternally grateful. I get very antsy every time we do one of these, and I get very concerned that, wow, man, this might be the year we only donate $200. That's not the case. Y'all come through, and I'm sorry that I get like this every year, but I am grateful to all of you. Thank you, eternally thank you. What you're doing, I know some of you just might be looking to win, and there's a great pot for whoever does win. But more importantly, I think it's great that we're making a very nice donation to Show Your Soft Side. So I'm very fired up about that and appreciate you getting in and donating to us. That is truly, truly appreciated. And we will look forward to you perhaps being the winner in our bracket contest, as we will get that plan out over the course of the next couple of weeks. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the next couple of weeks. And if you still, in the next 45 minutes, want to get in, we'll take you. I mean, if you are scrambling and saying, I meant to get in and I didn't, then you got 45 minutes. 45 minutes that you can jump in and make a donation. I don't want to go too far because I do still want everybody to feel like they have a chance. I always like to have about 50, but the difference between 50 and 60 to me is not dramatic. If it gets much past that, I'll cut it off. If you want to get in, if you're one of us, I'll still take you, but you got to be quick. At Glenn-Clark on Venmo, Glenn Clark 180 on PayPal, Glenn Clark Radio on Cash App. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your service. As far as news is concerned, the only thing that really jumped out to me yesterday, the story about the Orioles and allowing fans in for batting practice for Monday to Thursday games. It's really interesting to me that they're choosing Monday to Thursday instead of the whole week, only because I would assume it's easier to have staff there on the weekends than it is during the week. But I got the sense that it was more about, if you're going to get larger crowds on the weekend in general, so you run the risk for those weekend games of an overwhelming crowd that shows up early and you're only opening part of the ballpark. And so I guess I understand the thought process. I think there's always been a question as to why you didn't allow fans in to watch the home team batting practice. It seems like the type of thing that for certain fans, Grant apparently among them.
I love batting practice.
When I was a younger man, I definitely remember these feelings. Like you want to try to, it's a great time to try to go catch a ball at a baseball game. I'm obviously past that part of my life. I will tell you that in my 20s, I once caught a Melvin Mora home run ball in a game the Orioles played against the Astros, and it was dope for me. It was a really awesome feeling. I remember, it wasn't a direct, it ricocheted off of someone else and bounced right to me, and I was like, holy crap. I held it up. I'm like, oh, my God, I got it. And it was great. And I'd love for my kids to have that feeling. It's not for me, but I do get it. For young people, for younger people, it is, and for that dork, what's that guy's name?
Zach Campbell.
That guy.
I was about ready to say
Weirdo.
something about him.
Batting practice is a really cool time to do that. And you were allowed in to watch the visiting team do batting practice, but it's cooler to have that story if it's, Pete Alonso or Gunnar Henderson or Adley Rutschman than if it's, somebody from another team. So I understand why fans have wanted to come in for batting practice. I do acknowledge that it's difficult, right? Like the people that work at the stadium, that's not their 9 to 5. These are not full-time jobs. And so staffing and getting people that have to work a 9 to 5 and then go to the stadium afterwards, it is difficult to have enough staff in place in order to be able to open the stadium. I do think that the Orioles' plan, which is to essentially just open the outfield areas, and that's where you can go if you arrive for batting practice, I do think that's logical. I think that's a sensible in-between that allows for fans to have the ability to be there. I'm sure some of them would say, hey, it's frustrating. Like, I kind of like to be in the foul territory because there might be some balls during batting practice that go that way. But you can at least be there to watch batting practice and to try to get any home run balls that are hit during the course of batting practice. So I think that's cool. It's a thumbs up to me. I know a lot of fans of other teams saw that yesterday and said, boy, I'd really like it if my team did this. It seems like as baseball's trying to reach out and be more fan-friendly, that is something that I think that more and more teams could consider doing. I think that would be something that would be beneficial. So thumbs up to the Orioles for, making that happen for at least. Again, I get it. Like, if you're bringing your kids, you're probably more likely to be there on a weekend game than you are to be there for a weekday game. Although in the summer, that changes. Like, you're probably more inclined to go to a weeknight game during the summer. So it presents that opportunity for you to get there early and to enjoy batting practice. I think that's a thumbs up and a good thing from the Birds. Today's show is brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel. Of course, as you're watching games throughout the month of March, the best place to do it is inside Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel. 100-foot media wall, great food and drink specials, and interactive activities with awesome giveaways during every game. Live Casino and Hotel, Sports and Social, the best place during the month of March to be watching hoops. And if you haven't reserved your table, if you're planning on going this weekend, I would encourage you to do that today. All right. Man, I wish that this guy was not available to talk to us today. I wish he was getting ready for a game against Michigan. But alas, that is the way that March works. And what a run for his team. Obviously, America East champions, and a really special day over in Catonsville on Saturday with their stirring comeback to win the title and punch their ticket. He is the head coach of the UMBC Retrievers. He's Jim Ferry, and he is back with us now here on GCR. Coach, it's great to see you. It's a mix because I both want to say congratulations, but also I'm so sorry at the same time. I know it's been a whirlwind of emotions for you and your group over the course of the last few days. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, not a problem. And listen, man, even if we were playing Michigan today, I'd still make time to do this. This is special. I appreciate it.
I appreciate that, Coach. Coach, let me go back. Let's start with the joy of Saturday, right? Like, you've seen a lot of basketball in a lot of different places. Those final 5 minutes with DJ, with that atmosphere, with the spot that your team was in down late against the Goliaths of the America East, can you put into words, like, how long will you remember what that feeling was and what your guys did in that moment with that atmosphere?
Yeah, we'll remember that forever. I said that to the kids, the players. Like, I still remember the first championship at LIU. We went to overtime for that one. That was wild. But, like, the environment at UMBC, it's an environment that UMBC has never seen before.
Right.
The place was packed. Catonsville's never seen it, right? It was an unbelievable environment. It was high-level basketball, guys going at it. But the one thing I'm going to remember is just how tough-minded our guys were. Like, they never flinched, man. All year we never flinched. We just kept hanging tough, making plays for one another. DJ Armstrong stepped up. We stepped up defensively. So just like, I'm not a real emotional guy. But even me, after we won, man, I was like pumping up the crowd and screaming to the crowd. So, it was something that we will never forget in all of our lifetimes. And I'm not even saying professional lifetimes, just our lifetimes in general.
There's no doubt.
Family, for the town, for the school, the president, the administration, everybody. It's when you achieve stuff like that. I still remember, I've been fortunate to take multiple colleges to the NCAA tournament. And when we did it at LIU, I remember my AD coming over and grabbing me and saying, "This is the most special day of my professional career." And it stuck. And even when we won the other night, I got a text message from the former provost, vice president at UMBC, and said it just brought back memories of such special times. So it's something that no one's going to forget. It's awesome.
It was and everybody that was there, no one will forget what that atmosphere was. So special, man. What a day that was. Coach, this team, I remember us talking before the year about defense, right? Like, and how things the year before had not been where you wanted them defensively. How quickly did you know this group was bought in the way that you needed it to be in order to play the way they would have to win the league and get into the tournament?
Yeah, it still took a little while. I mean, it started with the recruiting. Like, we had to change. Like, we were so small the past couple of years, and it wasn't that the players didn't buy in. It was just the personnel. We had to play quicker and be more extended and try to go for steals, which we didn't have shot blocking. So with this year, we recruited length. We had length at every position. And we talked about it from the day one that we got on campus. It was going to be about rebounding in 50-50s and defending and rebounding. And we saw the pieces come together through the non-league. Where it really got fixed was we won our first 2 league games, then we went up on the road at Bryant, and we lost at Bryant. I wasn't very happy, and I brought the team back in, and I broke down all the statistics defensively, where we were allowing teams to shoot significantly above their shooting percentages and rebound percentages. And from that point on, it changed. The kids really bought in. We really focused on, paint first mentality, and we became the best defensive team in the conference. Unfortunately, it didn't show in the tournament game, but there's a couple other reasons about that we'll get into, not having any legs. But we were the best defensive team in the conference, and we're always going to be a fantastic offensive team. It's just kind of the way we recruit and the way we do things. So when you put those two together, you have a chance to win a championship. And the guys bought in from day one and believed and worked, and all the credit goes to those guys.
The other part of the buy-in to me is how unselfish this group was, and that on any night, it didn't need to be. I mean, I think obviously we saw DJ come through in the biggest moments a couple of times this year, but on a game-to-game basis, it didn't need to be that he was the alpha or that Adunawo was like anybody could be Jalakai. They all were capable of doing it. Where did that sort of come from? That there was no I have to be the guy, I have to be the one.
Yeah, well, all of my teams that have been successful at a high level have been like this, very balanced, because of the way we play. It's motion offense. We're not calling a ton of plays. We're teaching concepts. We try to recruit as many guys on a roster that can all pass, dribble, and shoot. And when you play this way, and when you have a unit that is truly unselfish, and we have depth, and we have a lot of different weapons, that's when you become a great team, because you can't scout it, you can't take it away, you can't, all right, we're going to take these 2 guys away. Okay, well, then we have these 2 guys that can step up and score. And that's when you have the ability to have championship-level teams. The character of this group, the connectiveness, the selflessness of this group, that we saw from day one. They just bonded. They just wanted to play basketball, be around each other, compete for a championship. Oh, and then, by the way, they have a 3.2 overall team GPA.
Nice.
We got the whole package. And when it starts with the people, I've always said this throughout my career, it always starts with the people. When you get good people that are committed to doing something together, anything can happen. And I'm so proud of these guys. And we still haven't had our real emotional goodbye yet. I'm not looking forward to that. To be quite honest, I woke up today like, the hell do I do?
I just want to.
All right, what am I doing?
Yeah, right.
Clean the house. I got to do stuff. I got a list, I'm sure, of groceries or whatever it is. Like, I got to get back to life. I don't know, but it's not what I want to do.
Jim Ferry, UMBC basketball coach, is with us here on GCR. Coach, you obviously alluded to it. Before we get into the plane and all that, but it's a conversation that's come up, right? And I know it's not going to change. I understand the NCAA is always going to value TV ratings and major power conference teams, them equal TV ratings. They're not going to do it. You've been at power conference places. You've been at mid majors. You've been at low majors. You've been everywhere. Does it frustrate you that winning the league does not guarantee you a spot in the round of 64? Does it feel like that inherently isn't the way it's supposed to be? The way that a lot of us say, hey, make those last at-large teams play for the right to get into the round of 64. Let the guys that win their league go play on Thursday and Friday for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've been doing it a while, and it is what it is. I was disappointed because, we didn't just win the league tournament.
Right.
Like,
we
dominated the league.
Yeah.
The hardest thing to do in college athletics is win a regular season championship in men's basketball. It's the hardest thing to do because it's over a 3-month period. You're playing everybody twice. It's a grind. There's injuries. There's everything. So when you win a regular season championship and then you win the tournament, because the tournament, anybody can get hot in a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Tournament's about pressure, right? Even us, like we were rolling at the end of the year. We were dominating the league at the end of the year. First 2 playoffs games, we dominated. Well, that last game, it's pressure because they put so much pressure on it. When you're able to do both, you don't belong in Dayton.
I think
if the NCAA actually looked at our team, literally put the tape on and watched our games, you wouldn't think for 1 second that you would put that team in Dayton. But I don't have a say in that, and it is what it is.
You obviously, I think there's two things, right? Like I think people are familiar with the story of what you guys went through trying to travel out there on Monday.
That was uncontrollable but disappointing, and it's a shame. I think it took away from the experience, one, and it took away from us being able to play UMBC basketball.
And then the quality of that Howard team. I don't know that people realize like how
it's really good.
Really good.
I didn't think they belonged in it either.
Right. It's a really good team.
You know, like, and it showed that they didn't belong in it because that was one of the most high-level games at Dayton in the past 10 years with the 16s playing. I mean, that was a high-level basketball game. And considering, like, we weren't even – and I knew it. Like, we sat on the runway for 4.5 hours. We got rushed when we got out there. We didn't have time to feed the guys. We fed them in 20 minutes. We had a late practice. I had to go do a media session, so we couldn't do the scout with me in the room. We had 20 minutes on the court. Like, by the time we got everything together, it was – and I could tell them warm-ups. So I was like, oh, boy, this is – I think I said it to our SID. I was like, man, I don't like the way I watch all warm-ups every day. I'm one of those coaches that comes out every game. And I was just like, we just don't look like ourselves. And you could tell right away. We couldn't move our feet. We're number 2 in the country in not fouling. We put them to the line 16 times in the first half. We don't put teams to the line 16 times in a game. But I give our kids credit, man. They didn't go away. They dug in the second half, and we made a comeback. It was just, I wish, it was uncontrollable, and I wish we would have been able to get out there early and do what we were supposed to do and have a regular practice time. But it is what it is, and we'll all grow from it.
That said, when DJ got the look that he got at the end, knowing how many big shots he's made for you this season, was there still a part of you like, oh my God, he's going to get this? Like
100%.
Yeah, right.
100%.
Yeah.
And everybody and I'll get, the people don't realize is Caden had the ball.
Yeah.
And I think every single one of us, including the coaches and everybody on the bench, was looking to get DJ the ball.
Right, of course.
And when he shot it, I was like, all right, it's in. Going to overtime. And then, obviously it didn't. But, why not, right?
Such is life.
That would have been the story ending if you would have hit that and we've gone to overtime. Would have been appropriate.
I want to ask this fairly because I have everybody raves about what the folks in Dayton do and how they treat that event and you can tell there's crowd support. You're not playing in an empty gym, but like, do you feel like your team got the NCAA tournament experience that they deserve?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen. And Danny Gavitt is a very good friend of mine for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
He runs the NCAA tournament, and he came into the locker room before the dear friend of mine. Like, no, it's different. You feel it. You get there. You're like, okay, this isn't just a basketball game. The way they do it is first class, all the way through. The way they treat the kids. The difference of Dayton and playing on like Thursday night is it's just a longer experience of that.
Right.
If that makes sense, right? Like, we would have done this prior to us going out there.
100%. And you get that entire day before where you're doing all the
kids, right? And even us, like, the flight kind of messed it up. There wasn't as many people at our practice, but like, there's people at your practice. There's, and Dayton does a fantastic job. It should be there every single year. Tremendous credit or flowers to the people of Dayton, the way they greet you, the way they treat you at the hotel, in town, the bus drivers. Like, it's a big time event, and the kids won't forget it.
Okay,
no doubt.
I dig that. I think that's very cool. I still feel like you should have been playing, but that's a whole different conversation.
So do I.
I know
So
you
do
do. I know that this is going to be determined, and you know how this works. I have to ask the question, and you have to tell me. We're going to figure out how that goes, but I think everybody's aware that this was your contract year. Hell of a contract year, by the way, Coach. Hell of a contract year. Can I assume that you would like to be at UMBC moving forward, given the work and the sweat that you've put in order to make this possible, to have cut down the nets this year and done what you did?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And what people got to understand now, like, everybody, it's a contract year, and is that, you know what? In this day and age, every year is a freaking contract year, man.
Fair.
Every year, like, it's craziness right now. Like, college athletics, NCAA basketball, it's a mess. So there's so much pressure, and I'm sure when we get back on Monday, we'll sit down and we'll figure out the next step is. But yeah, no question.
I assumed that was going to be your answer. The difficulty of, like, and you guys have gone through this every year, right? But now the whole world getting to see some of your guys, right? Like, does that make it more difficult for you, or Like, do you get the sense that the buy-in is there and that like they want to be back? They want to be a part of this thing.
They do want to be back.
Yeah.
It's more about the world has changed, man.
Yeah.
It's a finance driven. It's transitional. We did not make it transitional here. We make it all about the kids. But in reality, that's what it is. And at this stage at UMBC, we have not had, or nor do we have it right now to, sit down and say, hey, man, we're gonna pay you X number or offer you X number. That's something that we'll talk about Monday as well. Because I think when everybody saw is what can happen, that's a whole nother story for us to achieve what we achieved, with not having the resources that a lot of teams in our own league have, let alone on the outside. So that's another conversation that we're going to keep growing as a university. Hopefully we all see what we got out of this, and this can take us to another level, and we'll see where we go from here.
I appreciate that.
We want everyone, listen, if we have the guys back that can actually eligible to come back, then a chance to do it again, which I've done in multiple places. I haven't left after we won the first time. Each time I've won, I've always stayed, and we've done it again. You know what I mean? So hopefully we can keep some of these guys.
To your point, obviously, DJ, that time is going to come up, and Josh, but Ace and Jalakai and guys like that still have some eligibility.
Yeah, we got a lot of guys. Ace, Jalakai, Caden, Jose, Riley. Like we got a whole bunch of guys.
That'd be a hell of a group, man. It'd be
but it's spring break right now.
Yeah.
We got back yesterday. We hugged each other, and guys are gonna go on spring break, and then once we come back, we'll have another team meeting, and then we'll have individual meetings, and then we'll see where it goes.
You just a final thought, because I referenced what you had to build, right? Like, and obviously you inherited a building. You inherited at least a taste of success that UMBC basketball had with that incredible 2018 run. But can you put into words the journey, right? Like that. There were lows, obviously, in the early years, right? Like what it takes to get to this point and how fulfilling it is to have gone through that to get to where you wanted to be.
Yeah, there weren't lows early in the year. People keep saying that. There weren't. My first year here, we got to the championship game.
That part is fair. That part is fair.
We finished. Brian Odom did a fantastic job here. He took 3 of the best players with him. We were left with good players that were role players that we helped turn into starters. We finished in second. We got to the championship game, and we lost to a very good Vermont team. The second year, we won 18 games again.
Yeah.
People forget that now, right? Then college basketball changed. UMBC did not adjust. We didn't have the ability to.
Right.
And then we had 2 tough years. Then we figured out how we have to adjust to this, i.e. the recruiting the Division II guys, for 5 of them, and putting the right pieces together. And then we had a special year. And hopefully we can keep building on that. So it is a journey, but every season's a journey. Every year is a journey. If you're putting together someone being there for 4 or 5 years, it's a journey. There's ups and downs. This is college athletics, especially now, right? Now, listen, if we had a budget of $1 million of NIL money, like some teams do at our level, then we should be able to do it.
Yep.
But we don't. So we have to do. That's why a lot of credit that's not being censored to is the staff. My assistant coaches have done an unbelievable. Danny Lawson, Evan Baker, Cesar Deem, Gabe, all these guys, unbelievable job, because we didn't flinch. We weren't going to change and just take talent over the person, and we're never going to do that. And we figured a way out, whether it was taking Division II guys, taking Division I kids that we had known that maybe didn't succeed at the first spot, but we knew the character of the kid and the family. And when that stuff happens, you can be great. So you get a lot of credit, to my staff on helping us all put this whole thing together.
I appreciate that. I should have said that better. You're right. Like early the success was there. The dips came, obviously, as the NIL changes.
A lot of people have said that.
Yeah, right.
Like,
no, I should have said that better.
I guess you know how hard it is to get to a championship.
Yeah,
game?
no, you're 100% right. You're 100%
first
right.
year too. So
I also have great appreciation of the fact that you were able to do it with some local kids. I'm sure you understand
No
how
doubt.
much that means to the local fan base. That you brought back, Josh and obviously Ace, and like there being local kids being part of it, I think just means so much more to the entire community.
Absolutely. Like, we focused in on Ace Valentine when he was young.
Yeah.
Mount St. Joe's in his backyard. We talk about family, talk about wonderful families, right? Those two, mom and dad, both played locally, one at Georgetown, one at Towson. We focused in on him and look at his story, man. Like what has happened to him. And you talk about a kid that's left his mark on a university, being a local kid, played down the road in the backyard, and now he's turned his place into a championship place. So that's
awesome.
I feel so happy.
It's awesome.
But yes, but we've done that consciously. We've looked consciously at, once the market changed and it turned into a transfer market, we're like, okay, the guys that we couldn't get the first time around, maybe we can get them back here, and we've done a really good job with that.
Jim Ferry, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for everybody at UMBC. I remind everybody, I was a freshman at UMBC once upon a time, getting runs over at the rack and going up against Peter Mulligan when I could. Like, that was a time in my life. To see this, it's just amazing. It's just truly awesome. And heartbroken for you guys, but that, like I said, that'll be a special memory from Saturday that a lot of people will have for a really long time. May there be many more coming.
I sure hope so. And I really do want to thank the community for coming out, because when you talk about it, right, it takes a community to raise a child when you look at it in that sense, and to have the support of everybody. And we should all take pride of it, right? We should all take pride in this, from the janitors to the student body to the professors to the president to the community to the restaurants. Like, this is all about everybody. We did something special, and it does. Believe me, I've done it in other places. I've seen it change. I've seen the universities change because of it, and it's just going to start right now. So we're really fortunate, really excited and happy, and these guys, these young men, they deserve everything they get.
There's no doubt about it. Coach, congratulations. Looking forward to the next. Always appreciate you. Thanks for hopping on with us today.
Thank you. Anytime, man. I appreciate you guys.
That's Jim Ferry, head coach of the America East champion, UMBC Retrievers. And, we're all heartbroken about how it ended. And, God, I wish that the scenarios would have been different. But it takes nothing away from what an amazing season and incredible memory that was. Of them winning the title on Saturday. All right, we'll come back in, and I think we'll do a tidbit when we come back in. We're going to move some things around. Juju Reese still to come. You know him, Baltimore native, former Terp, and now NBA phenom with the Washington Wizards. That's still on the way as we continue along a Thursday edition of Glenn Clark Radio.
March Mania is on at Live Casino. And you can get a front row seat for all the action at Sports and Social. Raise your game with massive wall-to-wall TVs. And raise a cheer with your favorite beers, cocktails, and an all-star menu. Best of all, you could win huge prizes every game. Don't get benched. Book your table at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery, because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with 2 great locations, the Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs and the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack. Costas is your place to go. Check out the website, CostasInn.com, for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
This is Byron Warnkin. If you've been injured in a car or truck crash, you probably know this is stressful. Medical bills, the insurance company giving you the runaround, you got to get your car fixed. You don't just need a lawyer, you need results. At Warnkin LLC, we represent the injured across Maryland. Whether it's a car or truck crash case, medical malpractice, or any other serious personal injury, we fight for maximum compensation for you and maximum ease for you. You don't want to have to deal with this stuff. Warnkin LLC has been voted best personal injury law firm in Maryland for a reason. For us, 443 Results isn't just a phone number, it's our mission. Get the advocate that you need. Call us today, 443 Results, or visit us online, warnkinlaw.com. That's WARNKENLAW.com.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
All right, back in here on GCR as we continue along on a Thursday edition of the program. Again, thank you to Jim Ferry for taking the time for us. Appreciate him doing that. Today's show is also brought to you by CountySports.Zone. Finally, the week is over for the high school basketball championships. If you missed any of the results, you can go right now to CountySports.Zone, proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. Check them out there. While you're there, you can start looking ahead to spring season, which is already underway, lacrosse, and then baseball, softball. Scores, schedules, everything you need to know. CountySports.Zone's got you covered for high school sports here in the state of Maryland. I'm trying to think if there was anything that we needed to cover. A lot of talk about David Joku, who visited the Ravens this week. I've had a few people say, what do you make of it? I do wonder if, like, the Ravens are thinking about, hey, we want to bring you in, we want to talk to you, but we might really want to sign you after it doesn't affect compensatory picks. And get to that part if you're willing to hang on. And if David Joku's in demand and has a lot of other options, he might say, nah, I'm not going to be doing that. And then the Ravens would have to make that decision from there. But if he isn't in demand, or if he's just like, yeah, I'm cool with that, then that might be an ideal scenario for the Ravens to say, hey, we'd like to wait a couple weeks if you can. Now, there's risk there, right? Like, how do you plan your draft? Do you assume you've got David Joku? Do you not assume that it becomes a very complicated thing? I think that would be a solid pickup for the Ravens in the aftermath of losing Isaiah Likely. He's not Isaiah Likely, but I think he's been a reliable target whose numbers were notably down a year ago because he had no quarterback to throw him the ball in Cleveland. So I think that would be a fine addition. There would be danger to me of saying, well, you got your guys now, right? Like, you got Mark Andrews, David Joku, Durham Smythe. I still would be inclined for the Ravens to consider the addition of a dynamic tight end in the draft. So that makes it complicated because you don't normally want to keep 4 tight ends on a roster. So it's the only thing that kind of jumps out at me about it. I still think the Ravens really could use another playmaker of some sort. I guess the A.J. Brown conversation could continue. I talked to some people yesterday around the league who are still confident the Eagles are going to trade A.J. Brown and are not confident that it's going to require a first-round pick in order to do it. So, I don't know. Maybe that becomes interesting at some point. John in Little Rock, we always got to batting practice back in the day at Memorial and at Camden Yards. When did they stop doing open batting practice? Well, I mean, they've always allowed you to watch because the road team does batting practice second. So they've always allowed you to be there. The gates have always been open when the road team could. I don't know when that changed for the home team. I don't know. I mean, as long as I can remember. Now, I don't remember caring about that when my father certainly wasn't going to bring me to the ballpark 3 hours early when I was 8 years old. So I from my high school years on, I remember it was only the road team. So I couldn't tell you exactly when that happened, but the road team you've always been able to watch the road team take batting practice, just not the home team, which is, if you're going to catch a home run ball in batting practice, you'd like it to be one of your guys. That's kind of the point. So, again, I'm in favor of it. I think it's a good thing. I'm glad the Orioles are doing it. Why don't we go ahead and get a tidbit here? Tidbit is going to be brought to you by the Stan the Fan Variety Hour. Stan will be catching up a little bit later on today with Don Rovac, the chief. I believe I want to make sure I have Don's title correct at the Orioles so I don't embarrass myself here. Don Rovac is Chief Revenue Officer. Thank you. I'm so glad I had that right. For the Baltimore Orioles, that's coming up at 4 o'clock today, facebook.com/PressBoxSports. If you miss it live, youtube.com/PressBoxOnline or PressBoxOnline.com/video. And as always, Stan shows are brought to you by the Costas Inn with 2 great locations, the OG in Dundalk-Hun and the new one at the Grandstand in Timonium. What you got for tidbits?
Staying on the Orioles Hall of Fame topic, one of my favorite games of all time that I ever watched. I was 11 years old, or 10 or 11 years old when the Orioles played the Red Sox in 17 innings. Yes. 17 innings on May 6th. 14 years ago, I guess now? It was 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14 years ago. O's win 9-6. I got a slew of questions here that I want to quiz you on from that specific game.
Oh, Lord. All right.
I think you're going to do great.
All right.
I believe in you. First question. How many strikeouts did Davis have swinging the bat that day?
I'll say 4. I know he didn't have a good day at the plate. I remember. More? 5?
There you go.
Okay.
The 5 and
what
do you call that? The 5 and dime at that point?
It's a golden sombrero. I don't know.
Something.
Like sombrero. Yeah, I do remember he had a terrible day at the plate. I do remember that.
Well, he made up for it later on eventually on the mound.
I was in Louisville for the Kentucky Derby this weekend. I had I'd been down there covering the Derby, and we had to find an establishment that would show. But this is before you could watch Orioles games on your phone.
Oh, yeah.
When I was starting to get notifications about what was going on, I literally wandered around Louisville looking for a place that might have the baseball package to be able to put the Orioles-Red Sox game on.
Did you find it?
I did.
Sweet.
I found the place.
So then you might have seen Chris Davis strike out these 2 Red Sox hitters. He had 2 strikeouts, 1 switch hitter, 1 lefty.
Come on, man. I don't know.
Catcher and first base.
Catcher and first base. It's post Jason Varitek, right?
Yeah.
Doug Mirabelli.
No. He's the one with the ridiculously long name that
Jared Saltalamacchia
was one of the strikeouts.
Right.
I think he got him on the changeup.
And the first baseman for the Red Sox wouldn't have been Ortiz. He didn't play defensively. He wasn't capable of doing it.
No.
Adrian Gonzalez?
Correct.
Okay.
When I saw him strike out Adrian Gonzalez, there's no way.
It was wild. That was wild.
Who hit the game-winning home run, the game-winning 3-run Earl Weaver in the 17th inning to put the O's on top and eventually win it 9-6?
It wasn't Chris Davis.
No. In 8 at-bats, he couldn't. No.
Markakis.
No, he was 0 for 4 with 4 walks, though.
Jones.
There you go.
Okay.
The 3-run home run.
All right.
I
didn't remember that.
Off of the losing pitcher that day.
Oh, come on, man. Who was pitching in the 17th inning of a game for the Red Sox?
So it was a position player. The Orioles' first rounder in the 1997 draft.
Position.
This one made.
Oh, it was Darnell McDonald.
Oh,
right?
You did get it.
It was Darnell McDonald. Yep.
I thought I was going to get you with that one, Glenn.
But I only remember it specifically for that. I mean, literally, I 100% remember that we talked about how funny it was that it was Darnell McDonald. I absolutely remember that now.
That he was a former draft pick getting shelled.
Yep. Not bad.
Last question.
Mm-hmm.
Who started on the mound for the Orioles that game?
Sure. Started on the mound for the Orioles that game. I don't know. 2012, Chris Tillman.
No, he was still in AAA at the time.
Still
I'll give you a
in
hint. He was one of these success stories of Orioles converting starters to really, really, really good relievers.
Koji? No, that predates Koji, right?
Nope. Koji was in the Davis trade, so he would have already gone.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't a reliever with the Orioles. He didn't become a reliever until after he left the Orioles, right?
Nope. Orioles made him a reliever.
They made him a reliever? It all runs together. Converted from a starter to a reliever. Zach Britton.
No. I knew you were gonna say that. That's when I give a hint like that. Yes, that's the obvious answer you want to say.
Man, I don't know. Brad Bergeson.
No, that's a good guess. Though.
Jason Birkin.
Good guess, but no.
I don't know.
Do you want it?
Yeah, who was it?
Tommy Hunter.
All right, yeah. Tommy Hunter was a starter. That's a good point.
Typical Tommy Hunter gives up a grand slam in the 5th inning. I think it was Will Middlebrooks' first home run.
How about that?
Off of Tommy Hunter. Shocker.
All right, very good. Tidbit was also brought to you today by the print issue of Pressbox. Go get it right now at your Baltimore area High's Dairy Stores. Cal Ripken on the cover. It's free. You can also read it all at PressBoxOnline.com. Let's get tubular.
Have you ever thought of taking a cruise to these wonderful destinations with sunny skies and beautiful beaches? Well, wait no longer. We're ready for you to cruise from the Cruise Maryland Terminal.
Have a little phrase that you can go from baggage to margarita in about 15 minutes.
Choose fun with an array of destinations, onboard activities, entertainment, and world-class cuisine.
Contact your travel agent and book your cruise today. Let your adventure begin.
All right, here's what's coming up totally tubular-wise. Obviously, the NCAA Tournament, the first game of the day is TCU Ohio State, 12:15 on CBS. CBS's games after that, Siena Duke, 2:50. Howard, Michigan, 7:10. Should be UMBC. St. Louis, Georgia, 9:45. True TV, Troy, Nebraska. Will Nebraska finally win an NCAA Tournament game? It's 12:40. Then they've got McNeese, Vanderbilt, 3:15. Texas A&M, St. Mary's, 7:35. Idaho, Houston, 10:10. TNT, South Florida, Louisville, 1:30. North Dakota State, Michigan State, 4:05. VCU, North Carolina, 6:50. Penn, Illinois at 9:25. TBS has High Point, Wisconsin. A lot of people think Wisconsin might be on upset alert. That's at 1:50. Hawaii, Arkansas, another popular upset pick. 4:25. Texas, BYU, 7:25. Kennesaw State, Gonzaga at 10. Orioles are playing a pair today. The first one is only available for MLB TV subscribers as they're at the Yankees at 1:05. Dean Kramer and Max Fried, the pitching matchup there. And then the rest of the squad tonight, 6:05 against the Pirates on Masson, Cam Sanders, and Trevor Rogers. Maryland women's lacrosse hosts Penn at 8 on Big Ten Network, and the Navy women play in the WBIT at Harvard tonight at 7 on ESPN+. Navy men unfortunately fell last night at Wake Forest in the NIT. Everything else, go to GlennClarkRadio.com. When we come back in, Juju Reese. That's next. It's Glenn Clark Radio.
This is Stan the Fan. You know we talk all the time about our O's stepping up in the big moments, delivering when it matters most. If you've been injured in a car accident anywhere around Baltimore, that's your big moment, and you need someone who delivers. That's why I'm here to tell you about Warnken Injury Lawyers. They fight for Baltimore families every single day. Insurance companies play games. Warnken plays to win. So call 443-RESULTS. That's 443-RESULTS, or go to warnkenlaw.com. When you need results, it's right there in the number, 443-RESULTS.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery, because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedautobody.com today.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with 2 great locations, the Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs and the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack, Costas is your place to go. Check out the website costasin.com for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of PressBox is available now. On the cover, Dave Ginsburg chats with Hall of Famer Cal Ripken Jr. about his life now at the age of 65, his role with the Orioles ownership group, and much more. Also inside, Bill Ordine helps us learn more about new Ravens head coach Jesse Minter. Luke Jackson finds out about new Orioles slugger Pete Alonso from those who have played with him, and we meet college lacrosse players from programs all across the area. PressBox is available for free at over 250 locations throughout the region, including your Baltimore area High's dairy stores. Plus, you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
March Mania is on at Live Casino. And you can get a front row seat for all the action at Sports and Social. Raise your game with massive wall-to-wall TVs. And raise a cheer with your favorite beers, cocktails, and an all-star menu. Best of all, you could win huge prizes every game. Don't get benched. Book your table at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
All right, let's wind things down for the day. Thanks today to Jim Ferry. Thanks to Juju Reese, who you're about to hear from. We'll get that up in the greatest hits section of the
Archives.
How many times do we have to do this? You're gone and you still didn't get it right.
It took me one whole week.
Tab at GlennClarkRadio.com. Again, we'll be off tomorrow as we continue sort of our Friday sabbatical. We're making some plans. We have thoughts about Fridays moving forward, but I think some of those details will be coming out. Also, I keep trying to remind you, we're going to be hanging out at Quigley's Half Irish Pub next Thursday. It might be that tomorrow is when we announce those details. We'll do it on social media. I'm aware of them, and they're incredibly cool. It'll be one of the coolest events that we have done. So be keeping an eye out on social media for that. But off tomorrow. The Bat Around on Sunday. I'll be on WBAL tomorrow morning and 98 Rock tomorrow morning, and then I'll be hosting on WBAL from 11 to 1 on Saturday if you just want more and more of me. And frankly, who can blame you for that? In the meantime, thanks everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners. Thanks to Live Casino and Hotel, as well as Warnken Law, the Costas Inn, Cruise, Maryland, your Baltimore area High's Dairy Stores, Leading Edge Auto Body, 1-800-GAMBLER, helpmygamblingproblem.org, Quigley's Half Irish Pub, countysports.zone, your local Toyota dealer at buyatoyota.com. Thanks to Grant for being with us all week. Thanks to Griffin, as always. He'll be back with us next week. You can follow Grant at
20G
DeVivo. I'll get around to that on Instagram. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great weekend. Go Maryland women tomorrow. Go all the local lacrosse teams this weekend. Duke sucks. We wrap up today's show. I had to do it a little bit earlier on, but what a start to his NBA career with the Wizards. Baltimore's own Juju Reese here on GCR. It's a pleasure now to be joined here on GCR by one of our favorites over the years. He's a Baltimore native. He's a former Terp, and now he's in the NBA with the Washington Wizards, where he has made an immediate impact. He is, of course, Juju Reese, and he's back with us here on GCR. Juju, it's Glenn. It's great to catch up, man. Thank you for taking the time, and congratulations, dude.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Always enjoy talking to you guys, whatever. And just I'm just glad to be here.
Man, I can only imagine. Juju, I know that like living this dream is going to be cool wherever, but that it ends up being just down the street, that it ends up being with guys that you've known for a long time already there with you in Bub, in Cam. Can you possibly describe like what this has been like for you for it to all happen this way over the course of the last couple of weeks?
It's been great. Just starting off having to go to like switch my life up and going to Canada, starting in the G League or whatever, learning from those guys and just getting all the information I can get from those guys. There's a great coaching staff up there, great experience with them, and just being able to be called up by my hometown is just surreal and just a great feeling. I'm glad to be home, playing in front of my family once again after playing in front of them for past 4 years.
Yeah.
Whatever, and it's just a blessing.
Man, those guys, right? I like Bub. I know everybody in Baltimore knows Bub, right? Because everybody knew Bub's dad, right? Like everybody knew Big Bub.
Yeah.
What was that like to reconnect with him, and how special has it been for you guys to be together in DC?
It's been great. Even though I'm older than him, he's kind of just been showing me the ropes a little bit. Just kind of like showing me the NBA and how stuff works with his team. He's one of the key guys on this team, one of the leaders. Just he's been a great, just showing me around or whatever. I've been a sponge and just letting him teach me or whatever, and he's been great.
I know obviously this is the NBA, it's a business, you never know what might happen next, right? But like, have you guys talked about like how special it could be if you guys stay together? And obviously, we know the other moves the Wizards have made and the seriousness they're taking it right now. Like, have you had those conversations about like how cool this could be if this were to last for the next couple of years?
No, we ain't really talk about that. We just kind of
living in the moment.
Yeah, living in the moment right now. Just getting adjusted to everything, figuring out how the momentum we try and build going into the next season and stuff like that. Just learning each other and just stuff like that. And that's pretty much it.
I appreciate that, man. Juju Reese is with us here on GCR. Juju, did you have to go through like any moment of doubt, like as to whether it was going to happen? Were you always confident? I know you're confident in yourself, but did you ever go through any doubt? Like, what if I don't get the chance? What if this opportunity doesn't present itself? Did you have any of those feelings at all?
Sometimes, yeah, you have those feelings, but I just try to be level-headed. I just try to trust the grind. I just knew at the end of the day, God had a plan for me. If it wasn't here, then that's just what His plan was. But I just knew all in all, if I put in the work and just try to become the best person I could be, nothing but good comes from that. So that's all I did. Just try to put in the work and just see the results.
Man, it's such an incredible it's the correct mentality to have, but it's not easy for everybody to have that mentality. And I so appreciate the fact that you're able to do that, right? Control your controllables, obviously, and everything else, let it fall where it may. When it happens, right, like did you know that you were ready to transition the game so quickly to the NBA level? Did you have extreme confidence? Or, was there a part of you that was like, hey, man, it might take me a couple of weeks to get up to it? How happy were you that it didn't, obviously?
Yeah, I feel like I have the confidence to just play wherever. Just the coaches here kind of instilled that into me as well. Just trying to get them jitters out of me and just stuff like that, especially in the first couple games.
Yeah.
But yeah, just watching film and just playing my game that's what everybody just told me. Just play my game. Everything will work out, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just keep playing the better the basketball I've been playing my whole life. Just try to do whatever I can and do whatever it takes for the team to win. And just try to be successful in those aspects.
Did you know that you were nearing 20 rebounds that night? Did you have that? I never know when guys are aware of what's going on and when they aren't. Were you aware of what you were doing, or were you just playing a basketball game and somebody's like, "Hey, bro, did you know you already have a double-double?"
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't know that. Yeah. Because some arenas have your stats all the way across. I was checking rebounds. That's pretty much the only stat. I don't even look at points. I just literally just look at rebounds, try to affect those points. That part of the game, I think I had 2 points, maybe 8 rebounds in the first half, and I was like, yeah, I can get 20. I can definitely get 20.
Man, that's so cool, right? I mean, honestly, it's something that hasn't happened a lot. Like, there's a lot of great players that will never have a 20-rebound game in the NBA. How big of a deal was that to you to accomplish something like that?
I mean, it wasn't really a big deal. I was definitely hyped that it happened or whatever.
Yeah.
I was happy for myself. But I feel like in this league, it's more about consistency and just being able to do it on a consistent night. And that's what I heard a lot of the guys are looking for, just consistency. And I feel like if I'm able to do that, I'll be able to stick in this league.
I appreciate that, man. Juju Reese with us here on GCR. Juju, there's something about you that's always fascinated me, and I know we've talked about it before because I know that we think of you as being so even keel, right? Like you're kind of this reliable presence, but we also know. I mean, I remember you telling me that like you claim that you taught Angel how to trash talk, right? Like I remember you telling me that. What is the line for you in being so level-headed and being so even keel? And when do you let that kind of other side of you come out? Like, what is the thought process when you're on the floor?
Yeah, I really just try to, again, do my job at a high level. And sometimes where the game goes, it can get intense where there's a lot of people talking smack or whatever. It can just get there. And when it gets there, it's just like a whole different game, a whole different environment. You got to be able to even stay even kill when it gets there. So I just try to be, like you said, even kill and just try to play my game and do my job at a high level. And whatever comes with that, like physicality, it's a lot of guys banging around and stuff like that, being physical, and like trash talk genuinely like just naturally comes with that, and just a lot of physical, and just so verbally, it's bound to happen. It's bound to for people to start talking smack.
Man, I like it's fun. It's fun when I see it from you, and I still have great appreciation for how even keel you are. But it's fun when we see that side of you come out. My other favorite thing about the 20-rebound game was 8 of 8 at the free throw line. And like, dude, you and I have talked about this a lot. It's my favorite thing ever. And I've followed Maryland basketball for an eternity. Your evolution at the free throw line is my favorite thing that I've ever seen, because I got to the place where I was like, I pray that's Juju going to the line right now. Like, I pray it, right? How much have you, despite obviously it getting to the level that it got to, where you became so reliable, did you continue to, like, put an emphasis on it as you made the jump to the pros? Were you confident that, like, I've worked through all that, I know what to do, it's muscle memory now? Like, what was the thought process after you had the success that you did at the end of your career in college?
Yeah, definitely just trying to, like, polish those things and finishing possessions like that at the free throw line. Because I know, like, it can like my freshman year I started off about 80%. I know where it can go down, so you might as well like I just try to keep that number high, that percentage high. And I know it's a possibility that it can go down if you don't consistently work at it. So yes, I've been working at it, making sure I get those reps in, get those vitamins in every day after every workout or whatever. After every shoot around, just get a couple free throws up, and pregame also just shooting free throws, and I feel like my growth really from the free throw line has a lot to do with the mental side of it, and just thinking less of it and being more confident shooting the ball.
That's cool, man. I mean, it really is amazing, and I had no doubt, like, it's part of why you're getting this opportunity, right? It's because teams know, like, when you're big, you're gonna go to the free throw line. It's gonna happen. That's the way it's gonna work. Yeah. And that they can count on it. It's awesome to see. What have the other priorities been for you as you've made the jump to the pros? Like, what have the other focuses been? Hey, now that I'm here, here's how I'm gonna stick.
Yeah, just paying attention to the plays and stuff like that, learning different plays and where guys want the ball. It's a lot of max contract guys that they need to score, and guys like me they need to get rebounds for and do all the other dirty work, and just trying to learn guys' spots like Trey and things like that, where he likes to, like, where he wants me to roll at, and catching his passes, just learning different things like that, and trying to play and try to be the best guy, the best teammate for these guys.
But you bring up Trey, right? Like, obviously, it's really cool, and I know there's a lot of excitement in D.C. about the moves they've made. What's it been like being around that dude? Have you been able to have conversations with AD at all? Like, what has rubbed off from being around those two dudes?
Yeah, Trey, he's been a great leader to me and the team. Very vocal. Just explaining, like I said, where to roll at, how to play the game a little bit better for him, and just trying just trying to help me be in the spot he needs me to be in as a point guard. He's a great player, very very unselfish, while also being able to score the ball at the clip that he does. And yeah, he's just been a very very great connector and leader for us.
That's cool, man. All right, now here's the $1 million question that you know was coming. Are you rooting for Villanova over the course of the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, for sure.
I figured that was the answer. You know, everybody else at Maryland is not, but I understand the relationships are meaningful. Like, I do understand that.
Yeah. Whole staff over there, whatever. Got a couple of my guys over there.
I know. It's just painful for the rest of us, bro. Like, you got to understand how painful it is
I understand.
for everybody else. Have you had any connection at all with anybody at Maryland, any of the new staff? Have they attempted to sort of get you on board and have you be a part of things moving forward?
Yeah, I met with Buzz and staff.
Okay.
I've talked to him a couple times, here and there, whatever. He's a great coach. You know, it was kind of a rough year for them this year, but I feel like next year they kind of set the new culture and they got their feet wet this year, and I feel like next year it's gonna be great.
I appreciate that. I just think it's important to a lot of people that like guys like you are still involved, right? Like as I've written about, you're maybe my favorite story. We don't get to see dudes stay at the same school for 4 years anymore. Like we have such great appreciation and respect for you and what you did that I think that it would behoove the school to have you around and to tell your story and why it was important for you to stay home. And so it's really encouraging to hear that. And then what about like DQ being there for like all four of you? That picture of all four of you together was so cool to so many people back here. Like how special was that for you, for all four of you guys to be there together in the NBA, like a bunch of dudes from home all thriving the way that you are?
Yeah, it was great. Just thinking about like all the kids and people from back home that we kind of influenced and kind of inspired on that night, just seeing us like being all together like that, I feel like that just goes to show like it's possible. You know, DMV, it just putting the DMV's talents on notice. And seeing guys from this area play at the highest level is just great for the community all around.
It's awesome. Juju Reese, we are so happy for you, bro. Like, it is awesome. You really are one of our favorite stories in Baltimore hoops history, in Maryland hoops history. Your perseverance, to see it paying off for you the way that it is, it's awesome. And we know this is only the beginning of the story that you are writing. I know you're not much of a social media person, right? Like, is there anything that we can plug for you at all?
Maybe my Instagram. Wait, no, just the Twitter. Reese10Julian.
Reese10Julian. Give him a follow there. Juju, so happy for you, man. May there be so much continued success for you coming your way. Thank you for taking the time for us as always, brother. Appreciate you doing this.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.